Happy Sabbath, everybody. It's a Sabbath for me. It might not be when this video comes out, but God showed me some things while I was reading earlier, and I felt like I just needed to share it with everybody. So, this is kind of going to be a Key of David part 2. Pretty sure in the last video, me and the other two, Wyatt and Matthew, read about when the disciples are plucking grain in Matthew 12, and the Pharisees say that's not lawful to do on the Sabbath, and Yeshua says, well, go learn what David did when he went and he ate the shewbread. And then from there you go to 1 Samuel chapter 21, and David and his men are hungry, and they go to Ahimelech the priest, ask for bread to eat, and all he has is the sacrificial bread, the shewbread, and he says they can have it if they've kept themselves from women. And David says, yes, me and my men are holy, our bodies are holy, we've kept from women these 3 days. Shewbread, sacrificial bread, would have been baked on the Sabbath, so we know that that was a Sabbath. But then my Bible kept giving me these references to Leviticus 24. I'm going to read this real quick. It's just verses 1 through 8. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure olive oil beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually. Without the veil of the testimony in the tabernacle of the congregation shall Aaron order it from evening unto morning before the Lord continually. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. He shall order the lamps be upon the pure candlestick before the Lord continually. If you go to 1 Kings chapter 7, when Solomon's rebuilding the temple, you get the verification that it is 10 lamps. Those 10 lamps represent the 10 commandments, and if you think to the parable of the wise virgins, there were the virgins that had oil for their lamps ready for the wedding, and then there were the virgins that did not have oil for their lamps, and then there was the people selling the oil. And so, that's representative of the 10 Commandments right there. Go teach people the 10 Commandments and use the 10 Commandments to light your lamp and be ready. And thou shalt take fine flour and bake 12 cakes thereof. 2 tenth deals shall be in 1 cake, and thou shalt set them in 2 rows, 6 on a row, upon the pure table before the Lord. So, the fine flour and the 12 cakes, that's the shewbread right there, which we already know is representative of the sexual fast in some way. That is the sacrificial bread, and when we keep ourselves from our wives for 3 days, that's a sexual sacrifice. That's our sacrifice to God right there. And then set them upon a pure table before the Lord. Keep your table clean, keep your vessel clean. Don't eat unclean foods. Keep your body holy. It all goes hand in hand. And thou shalt put pure frankincense upon each row, that it may be on the bread for a memorial, even an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And you can see in other verses that when incense, frankincense, whatever is mentioned, it's your prayers. Your incense is your prayers. So make sure that your prayers are pure and holy and for the will of the Father. Don't be praying for prosperity or for vanity. Pray for the will of God. And then verse 8, every Sabbath he shall set it in order before the Lord continually, being taken from the children of Israel by an everlasting covenant. And so these things, us keeping the 10 Commandments and spreading the 10 Commandments, keeping our vessels holy for 3 days, the sexual sacrifice, keeping our prayers holy and for the will of the Father, keeping away from unclean foods, all these things, we bring them to God every Sabbath, and that is our sacrifice to God. That is our offering. And so, this is quite literally a step-by-step guide to, I don't know if you want to call it the key of David or sanctification, or both. It's, I may be talking about the altar and the temple and everything, but, we are the temple. Like, our bodies are the temple. And so I think that we need to take some stock in this and study it out. And yeah, that's it.